Hey guys, do you want an AEG springy trigger? Or do you want it adjustable and a little bit clicky? Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Software. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review on this Perun Speeder V2. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, because that interaction will help me to get seen by the YouTube algorithms. It's been a while since I've filmed a video, so this is why it's sounding really out of practice. All that good stuff. The links down below will take you to my Discord and my socials. The join button will take you to channel memberships, totally optional, really appreciated. And you get bloopers like I've done a moment ago, trying to start the beginning of this video. And that's up for the channel members. So Perun, massive shout out to Perun, who now and again drop me a little email out of the blue and go, we've got this cool new stuff, do you want to try it? Pheas always wants to try it, of course I do. It's like, gets me giddy and excited. Now, like, nobody can accuse Perun of not being like original and ingenious and creative and forward thinking. So they've come up with, we've seen the clicker, and I'll link the clicker videos down below. There is going to be another video on from this, which is the installation, and another product linked to this, which is the Clicker Pro V2, but that's a whole separate thing. So in this package they sent me the Speeder V2, they sent me the Clicker V2 Pro, and the hybrids to go with them as well. It was literally like Airsoft Christmas again. Like, so thank you so much to the guys at Perun for sending that to me. This is not a paid video. This is purely, they've just sent it me and said, have a go, have a look, see what you think. So this specifically then is a drop-in item to go with their MOSFETs. So we've seen the clicker creating that sort of realistic feel. They've gone a step in one direction with this, and the Pro goes the other direction. So this particular item is for those sort of speedy boys, those HPAE sort of, like, you want that instantaneous little trigger pull and things like that. This is the thing for you. So this is a effectively a trigger block that interfaces with their MOSFET and allows you to fine tune how much or little you want the trigger to pull, and how sensitive you want it to be, and how much of a click you want it to produce to a certain point. Like, there is some cool little sort of features within that, and I'll be honest, I am not going to be able to do this fully justice, but you know, at least in this video I'm going to show you what's inside here, and talk about what it is, and a bit of a review of it. In the other video I'm going to show you how to install it and how to do the adjustments and things like that. So the box, nice and simple, little teeny tiny box, nicely branded, QR code that takes you to, I believe, the manual and the web page for it, and we just flip open at the back and we've got a little baggie and the device itself. So we'll just drop those down. In the little baggie is a little Allen key, which is the main tool used for adjustment. So I'll just pull that out. We'll do that in the other video. We've got, when these things drop out, two screws. So we've got a black, I believe it's a metal screw. It looks almost like a bit springy, but it's not. A little spring, and a white plastic screw. So these two can go in one of the two places for adjustment on here, and this goes in another place for adjustment, which we'll sort of talk about in a second. So I'll get those out of the way. And then we've got the actual device itself. Now this is, it sits in the gearbox like that. So if you've got your gearbox there, you're just going to drop that in, and the trigger just interfaces with this here to click. And now you can see how quick and short that trigger pull is. Now this is going to be going in an MP5 I've got, and obviously it just want a little bit nicer. They are particularly bad, the AEG ones, for having quite a lot of dead space and things. So I'm just looking to sort of tweak that down a little bit so that there's as little as possible. Okay, so we'll talk briefly about the adjustment. So in terms of flipping it over, you've got two little screws under here. Now this first screw here, this one right here, when my camera focuses, hopefully there's two little screws there at the end of my thumb. This bottom one here would sit right there. That one there is the over travel adjustment. So if you tighten that up, it decreases the movement that your trigger has to do. Now, bearing in mind how tiny some of these threads are, you know, it's going to take a fair bit of tightening to sort of notice it. So there's a bit of travel. If I do a couple of turns, actually I can feel that has gone shorter. Oh, it's getting shorter. So obviously with that, don't over tighten it, because you might end up in a position where it's blocking or blocking the trigger or damaging the trigger. I'm just going to loosen that back out to pretty much the factory position. So that's over travel. In the back here, no, I tell a lie, flip it over. This front bit here, I don't know how well the lighting gets it, but in here, I can even barely see it. In there's another one. You've got a pre-travel in there. Now, if I lefty-loosey that, I can see this short screw here is getting shorter, which is reducing down how far it has to travel to engage, obviously, go forward and click forward. And again, if I tighten that back down again, it goes back out the back and my trigger travel expands quite a bit. So I've got over travel and pre-travel that I can sort of adjust within there. And then I've also got spring tension. So this is the amount of the force that the spring exerts on the trigger. So basically you can make it a little bit harder trigger pull. So all we do is this front little screw here comes out there. Careful to not lose that little grub screw, little set screw. And there is a little spring in there that can be replaced with the other much harder spring. Now I want a little bit harder trigger pull, so I'm just going to chuck that one in there, and it literally is, I just chuck that in there, throw the set screw back in, and what I can do is, this is also adjustable as well. Now that that spring's in there, tighten that up, so that's more or less the default. I can feel, it's not much heavier, but there is a heavier feel to that now, and I can tighten that screw down to add a bit more weight needed. And that's kind of where I want it to be, is that kind of weight point. Now, a lot of this adjustment you're going to be doing when it's inside your gearbox, basically, or sort of with your gearbox down, testing your trigger and seeing where you want, because kind of once it's sealed up, you're not really going to be able to adjust it without reopening things. Now, the last feature is this screw on top here, which coincides with these two other screws. So we've got sort of like a medium magnetic screw in there that provides you a soft, delicate little click. Now, if I remove that screw and fit in the plastic one, the white plastic one, I'll get no click at all. It'll be silent. It's just plastic or metal. You won't hear anything. Or I can put the heavier weight, much more stronger magnetic one, which I can feel there, and you'll get much more of a click out of that trigger when it returns, which obviously some people are going to like and want in there. So in terms of your adjustability, you've got a significant amount of adjustability within there to get the trigger feel that you want from your AEG, and really sort of fine tune things down to what you want, really. So I'm going to switch to the other video now, do the installation. That is linked down below. And then when we come back to this one, I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts and feelings around this. So my reassembly is completed then. Now, yes, it's a bit of a weird little MP5 setup. Let me just move for a little bit better lighting. There we go. And you know, a couple of 3D printed bits on there and stuff. It suits my my kid well. They love it. So we'll forget about that. What I have done then is, like I said in the installation video, I've turned the trigger sensitivity up. It's not the top, number 5 is at number 4 setting, because it does catch on. So obviously we've booted it up. Safe, there's no physical triggers, physical block anymore. So I said to you, the Perun's detect safe. It's important that you turn it on in safe, because it uses that as a registration point and things that can cause misoperation otherwise. So single shot. Now that is a much nicer, closer, shorter trigger pull, and obviously I can even make that a little bit shorter and just, you basically just take up the pre-travel, a few mil of pre-travel, and then barely touch it, and off it goes. That is exactly what I wanted and where I wanted it. Click that back to safe. the ingenuity that's gone into that, and the design to go into that, and the engineering is nothing short of brilliant. And the fact that they're giving sort of users what they want in terms of like that adjustable trigger without having these weird coloured ones. You know, it fits in any version 2, more or less any version 2. You know, compatibility wise, they've tested it on all the big brands sort of thing and said, yeah, it works in all of them. Like, genuinely excellent job by them for seeing a niche need in the market and producing something that fits with what people want and need. You know, that will be staying in there. My kid absolutely loves it already. They've sat and spammed the trigger absolutely loads and gone, it's brilliant, I love it, because that dead trigger before was just a bit very spongy, and now it, you know, it is not spongy at all. So I'm really happy with how that goes for such a low price little item, and sort of 15-20 minutes of just tuning it to that perfection where you want it. It is totally worth the effort from that. So hope that's been useful to you. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. All of the links are down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.